Hello, this is Tobias from Extreme Distribution. I will guide you through the webinars today. Welcome to our post-IBC webinars, where we will give you an update about our selected partners. So I will start, as said, Tobias from Extreme Distribution. So we start with Aurélien Prel from the company Woody Technologies. He's a co-founder and head of sales. Afterwards, you will hear about our latest product from the Extreme Group, which will be presented by Stefan Pfütze, the Managing Director of Extreme Media. Following by that, it will be Ikuya Yamada, founder and CEO of Capella Systems. And then it will be Ozan Gezer from the Libero Systems, as well as Ifran from Libero Systems. They will give you the demo at that part. And after that, we will close with Oliver Meurer, CEO of Flowworks. So starting with Woody Technologies, I will hand over to Aurélien to do the presentation. 1 second.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Tobias, for the introduction, and thank you very much to everyone for being with us today. You should be able to see my screen now, so I will start my presentation here. So I hope that you had all good IBC if you were there. If you were not, it's a good opportunity today to know what Woody has introduced at this IBC 2019. So I will give you a quick overview in the next 20 minutes about the new features of our Woody Intuit product line for file-based ingest. I will also tell you a bit of news about Woody Social, our tool for ingest from social networks. And we'll finish with the biggest announcement of this IBC for Woody Technologies, the launch of our new product, Woody Ingest Live, for ingest of SDI, NDI, and IP live feeds to post-production environment. There is a chat box in the webinar tool. So if you have any questions during the webinar, don't hesitate to type your questions, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. Great. So let's start with the Woody Intuit news and how it helps simplifying local and remote ingest operations. Just if you don't know what Woody Intuit is, this is our software tool to streamline all the file-based ingest workflows. So it can be manual, automated workflows. If you have a file, if you have a camera card and you need that to be available in your production environment, Woody Intuit is the tool for that. It offers a lot of workflow control features and a very intuitive user interface, and it supports 100 of source formats. We have 3 architectures for Woody Intuit. This is not totally new at IBC, but we are going more and more in that direction. So we are going further in the directions of making tailor-made versions of Woody Intuit to fit with all the workflow use cases that you may experience. Woody Intuit is our dedicated ingest workstation software where you have your source media connected to the workstation and you want to do the ingest straight to the production environment. Then we have Woody Intuit Server, which is centralizing the media processing across one or multiple servers, and which can be combined with Woody Intuit Essentials, which is basically a light client to do the browse and the selection operations, but all the media processing is centralized on Woody Intuit Server. This version is also bringing API control and automated workflows thanks to watch folders triggers. And we have Woody Intuit Go for the remote operations, because this is growing request to be able to send content from anywhere in the world straight to the production environment, wherever it is, on premise, in the cloud. And Woody Intuit Go is really the solution that we have for that. with all the features of remote configuration management, integration with Avid Media Composer to do send to directly from Media Composer, and a lot of notifications and integrations with transfer acceleration technologies. So we have started to expand the product line, the Woody Intuit product line, since early 2019, but now it's becoming really a reality for our customers, and we are deploying all these architectures in production right now. So what was new for Woody Intuit and for all these versions at IBC 2019? As I just mentioned, we have now a global product line for file-based ingest to do both manual and automated workflows, and also to bring scalability in the architectures that you deploy. So if you have a quick look at the configuration part of Woody Intuit, what has changed is that now we can manage a full Woody Intuit cluster with multiple nodes, and we can combine manual operations through this user interface, web-based user interface, with automated operations based on watch folders, FTP watch folders, SMB watch folders, all on the same Woody Intuit platform. So it's really now one single platform that is bringing all the services for file-based operations that you need. The other change that we've made in Woody Intuit for this IBC is some improvements in the user interface itself. It has not changed so much because we are quite successful with this user interface, but so we want to keep it simple and intuitive, but we have made some small improvements that can be really helpful. The first one, I don't know if you are aware that we have a new player for the last few months, which is generating the low resolution on the fly from the original media. It's very important because it means that I don't need to have access directly to the storage where the source media is, because the backend server of Woody Intuit is just generating the low resolution when it's requested in the player and on the fly, and streaming this low resolution to the web page. So it's a very efficient way and also secure way to work on some media without having direct access to it. What we also improved in this part of the user interface is the audio view method to control the content of the audio tracks in Woody Intuit, and to mute some tracks if we want to listen at some specific tracks. And what was new at this IBC is also the ability to add some markers on the video that we can then transport with the metadata as time-coded metadata to the various production environments that we can address. So it's small changes that are just improving the user experience in Woody Intuit user interface. Just a reminder, this user interface is the same for all the configurations of Woody Intuit. So no matter what the deployment model is, Woody Intuit Go, Woody Intuit Server, standalone, you will always work in this user interface. And you can, of course, also combine different ways of triggering jobs on the same platform. So you can have users using this web-based user interface accessed remotely. You can have users using a light client to push content to the server, and you can have automated workflows triggered by watch folders. All the other concepts, the mandatory metadata fields, the customization of the user interface, the choice of the ingest profiles filtered per user, all of this is still the same and remains unchanged in this version of the user interface in Woody Intuit. So I mentioned local and remote operations. This is really important. Woody Intuit Go is our answer to the use case of remote office or a reporter on the field needing to send content to a central facility or to a central data center in the cloud where the post-production system is hosted. So with Woody Intuit Go, the configuration can be managed remotely and can be deployed to the Woody Intuit Go stations running on the field. So it means that you can centralize and secure the configurations. And for the users, it's again super simple. They don't have to deal with the technical parameters. It's all defined by the administrators. About remote operations, one last thing. I can't tell you a lot about this right now, but we have some exciting news to come for Woody Intuit Go, so stay tuned, and some news will be out in a few weeks. We have built a modern and future-proof architecture. I mentioned the scalability already. You just should know that we are using very modern technologies to do the messaging between the Woody nodes to do the load balancing of the front-end connections. So we are really following the state of the art and building something that will keep moving and evolving as the habits and the architectures are moving. One other thing is that we've improved the backup workflow. So the backup of the original media in parallel of the ingest of this media to the central production system is something really important to our customers. Until now, you could only do the backup during the ingest or after the ingest. Now we have changed a bit the way we handle that. And as you can see here in the profiles configuration, we have options now to realize the backup either before processing, after processing, or while processing. And we can, of course, define where it will go and organize these backups with some creation rules. This is coming with another new feature that we have at IBC, which is the Avid confirmation workflow. So we have a long history of integration with Avid systems, and doing the backup plus an ingest in a low resolution now allows us later on to export the sequence where these low resolution clips have been used, and to re-ingest the high resolution automatically from the sequence export, updating the existing assets. So if it's something of interest, just let me know, and we can organize a specific demo of this feature. But it's very interesting for Avid customers. Some other quick news about Woody Intuit product line. We have new and updated third-party integrations. Signient integration is quite important for the acceleration of the transfers for remote workflow. We already had integrations with Aspera Fast Protocol and also with File Catalyst, and now we are adding Signient to this bench of transfer acceleration protocols that we support. Just as a reminder, we also integrate for remote workflows with cloud storage, so we can send to Azure Blob Storage or Amazon S3 storage very easily from Woody Intuit. We've also built a new integration with Telestream Vantage because we have customers who asked us to use Woody Intuit as a front end and then trigger a Telestream Vantage job. So that's why we built through the Vantage API, using the Vantage API trigger to start a Vantage workflow at the end of a Woody job. We have also coming integration end of this year with Grass Valley Stratus MAM. As you know, the aim of Woody Intuit is to integrate with as many MAM systems as possible. We have already existing integrations with many of them, and Grass Valley Stratus will be one of the next ones. And also for the Avid users, Media Central Cloud UX is now very important. And we already had a Woody Intuit app in Media Central Cloud UX previously, but we have updated this app for the IBC, improving how the settings are managed, and also bringing our player that I mentioned before straight into the Media Central Cloud UX app. So all these third-party integrations bring more value in Woody Intuit, and it's definitely the tool that will allow you to address many different production systems, many different MAM, PAM, and storage systems. And you will see in the coming months that we have even more new integrations coming for Woody Intuit platform. So this was a very quick overview of the new features that we have presented at this IBC 2019 for Woody Intuit. So if you want to know more, just you know that you can test any of our software very easily, and we can organize tailor-made demos to see how would Intuit can help in your file-based ingest workflow. So just be in touch, and we'll be happy to organize that. Another topic about simplifying the ingest operations, it's working with social media content. And working with social media content means bring on air what people have shared on the network. So you might already know Woody Social. Woody Social is our tool to help journalists and ingest operators to get content from the web ingested in their production environment in a very easy and efficient way. So the idea of Woody Social is that you can search content across various social networks and preview it directly in the user interface of Woody Social. Um, build a selection list, a shopping list of what you want to ingest. Of course, it can be photos, it can be videos, like here. It can come from Twitter, it can come from YouTube. Oh, a small issue here, or from Vimeo. And once you're ready, you just choose your ingest profile. Based on your ingest profile, you can ask your users to add some mandatory metadata so you are sure that the content is organized. And then you can start the download and transcode to your production system. So this is Woody Social, as many big broadcasters are already using it in the world. Now, what we've brought to IBC 2019 is something new. It's the web browser extension, sorry, for Woody Social. So the idea here is to make this ingest workflow even easier than it was before. So the idea is that while you are browsing a web page, the Woody Social extension installed on your in your Google Chrome web browser will notify you if this website is compatible with Woody Social, and will help you to do the ingest. Excuse me, to start the ingest from the web page directly. So how does it look like if you are um, browsing internet? Let's say you're going to Instagram and you find something that you want to ingest. And if you have the Woody Social browser extension installed, you can see it here that it is now gray, and now it turns red because it detected that this content from this web page can be ingested to through Woody Social. So when you click on the browser extension here, you are able to choose a ingest profile again, and depending on the ingest profile, you are able to add the metadata that are requested, and that can be made mandatory by your administrator. And then you can just start the ingest job. The browser plugin here will connect to the Woody Social backend server, and you will be able to monitor here the progress of your ingest without going to the Woody Social user interface. So it's a super efficient way to trigger the ingest without building first a selection list, and it can be completely combined with the traditional user interface from Woody Social. And as we can see here, we can follow the progress of this ingest, and as soon as it's over, or even while it's processing, we can start playing with this video in our Avid Media Composer or in our Adobe Premiere editing software. So this is the major improvement of Woody Social. We really believe that this will be the way of triggering the ingest from websites and social networks in the future. Now it's finished. So if I go to my Premiere editor, I can browse my my storage where the ingest is done, and I should be able to find my my video and to play it in my directly in my software. Probably I need to refresh a little bit to get that. Um, so yeah, that's just another reminder. Woody Social is not only for social networks; it works with plenty of websites, and this browser extension helps you to know on which website it works beyond the list that we obviously provide. So it's not only for social networks, it's for all situations where you need to ingest content from the web. And last thing I want to mention is that Woody Social can be hosted on premise in your facility, but we also offer cloud hosting for Woody Social, so making this even simpler. There will also be some additional news to come in the next weeks and in the next months about Woody Social. So stay tuned, and this is really a focus for us to improve this tool that is really helping people every day to work with content from the web. The last thing I will mention for this presentation is our new Woody Ingest Live product. So we are super proud to have brought Woody Ingest Live to this IBC. This is the result of collaboration with our friends from Libero Systems, who have a long experience in dealing with live feeds and live sources. And we have combined that with our experience of news workflows and of integration with post-production environments, and the result is Woody Ingest Live. So what is it? It's a tool that allows you to schedule and trigger ingest of any SDI, NDI, or web streaming sources. It supports a lot of streaming protocols, RTMP, RTSP, HLS dash, but it also supports some content from web social networks as well, like YouTube Live, for example. So you can ingest content from SD to 4K, depending on the video cards that you have in your hardware. We provide qualified appliances for Woody Ingest Live, and it's working with usual Decklink, AJA, or Bluefish video cards. We have direct integration with MAM and PAM systems, especially with all the Avid environments, but also we can address other MAM and PAM systems. We support edit while capture in Adobe Premiere or in Avid Media Composer. And we have a web-based scheduler for collaboration. So this web-based scheduler allows you to in a super simple way schedule the ingest events that you need on the recording channel that you need, and to supervise that everything is going well. This is fully integrated with the Woody backend, so it means that all the concept of ingest profiles that we know in Woody is also available here. So you can choose an ingest profile. Depending on this profile, you will be requested to add the metadata, and based on this metadata, we will organize the content and transfer the content to the right storage location and to the right database folder if we have a database in place. Of course, all the naming rule, organization rules that you know from Woody will also apply on the jobs coming from the recordings scheduled in Woody Ingest Live. We want this to be easy to deploy and easy to operate. This is super important to us. As all the Woody products, it has to be simple and intuitive, and this is really our DNA that we are now putting in this new solution. So if you want us to arrange a demo, or if you have questions about this tool, don't hesitate to reach out, and we'll be happy to see how it can help you with your ingest of live sources. So this was a quick overview. The time schedule was tight, and I don't want to take the time of my colleagues that will speak after me. So I don't know if there are any questions that I should answer now. Otherwise, don't hesitate to visit our website www.woody-technologies.com, or to reach out to the Extreme team to have more information about what we offer and all this new stuff. Thank you very much. I'm ready for questions if there are some.
Thank you very much, Olja. We have not many questions, but we have some. One was answered already because it came a bit more early during your presentation. Can you be deployed in the cloud as well?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Woody Social as well as Woody Intuit can be deployed in the cloud. Of course, no problem. We have hosted offering for Woody Social, so you can rent it as software as a service, and for Woody Intuit we can discuss depending on your needs.
Perfect, thank you. And there was another question referring to your training. So the question was if you have training sessions as well for your customers.
Yes.
Can you do them remote?
To our customers. Sorry if issue with
Audio. Sorry, I had an issue with my audio. So yes, we have training sessions for administrators or for end users. You may have noticed that our tools are very easy to use. So training of end users is not always necessary or is not always done by us. It can be done by the super users of our customers, but we are really happy to be in contact with our users as much as we can. And of course, we provide full training sessions to the administrators who maintain our systems.
Very good. And then a question that I will also start to answer and leave you the second part to answer it. How can I try Woody software? So from the extreme distribution side, I can say, please contact us. It's very easy to get a trial version of every Woody software, literally. We would send you a download link and you would get a trial license for some period. We are very happy to assist you with the installation as well as kind of a basic training. But I think Aurelien's answer might be a bit more extensive and also very motivating. So I'll leave you some phrases to that as well, please.
Thank you, but you said everything already. So yes, we are really happy that you test our tool and that you get convinced by your actual experience with our tool. So just contact us. Just to complete what Tobias just said, for Woody Social we can have also a cloud testing. So it means that you have nothing to install if you want to test Woody Social. It's super fast. We can create you an account in minutes. So don't hesitate to ask, really. For Woody Ingest Live right now, the testing is a bit more complicated because of the hardware need. So we are working on having a good way to help our customers testing Woody Ingest Live. But for Woody Intuit, Woody Social, Woody Outgest, it's really easy.
Very good. Thank you very much, Aurelien, also for the presentation and for your time. And I'm looking forward to work on further questions of any participant later with you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.